Did you see Angel Reese's face when that reporter asked her if she still believes people watch the WNBA because of her? That next question response might be the most awkward press conference moment this season. Talk about being put on the spot. The numbers tell a brutal story here. While Angel's team struggles to fill 8,000 seats at Sky Games, Caitlin Clark has the Fever selling out 17,000 seat arenas night after night. No wonder Angel couldn't answer that question. Sometimes silence says everything. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. But Angel Reese just had one of the most awkward moments I've seen in a WNBA press conference. You can literally feel the tension through the screen. The video is everywhere right now. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and people can't stop talking about how uncomfortable it was. So what happened? It all goes back to last season when Angel made this huge claim that people were watching women's basketball because of her. She said it with her chest, full confidence, no hesitation. That's the kind of statement that puts a giant target on your back because now you've got to back it up. Fast forward to this press conference. A reporter basically asked her straight up, "Do you still think people are watching the WNBA because of you?" And oh my goodness, her face. Before she even opened her mouth, you could see it in her eyes. Panic. That split second where she realized she was trapped by her own words. Then came those two famous words. Next question. That's it. Nothing else. No defense. No explanation. No stats to back up her claim. Just next question. And the most uncomfortable silence ever. One fan commented, "She's regretting that comment." And honestly, her face said exactly that. The crazy thing? The reporter didn't even need to push back. He didn't follow up or challenge her. He didn't have to. The damage was already done the second those words left her mouth. The clip hit social media like a bomb, and the comments were brutal. Another fan straight up said, "Well, now she knows it's not true." People were not holding back. Some fans went even harder, calling her immature and saying she's more worried about being social media than a basketball player. Ouch. Though I will say, there were a few defenders in the comments too. One person wrote, "I'm not mad at this. Ask me questions about the game, the team, the season." But those supportive voices were definitely in the minority. The timing of this whole disaster couldn't be worse for Angel. The WNBA is literally having its biggest moment ever right now. TV ratings are up, ticket sales are through the roof. People who never cared about women's basketball are suddenly paying attention. And right in the middle of all this, the question of who's actually responsible for this boom becomes super important. If you watch the video closely, Angel's body language tells you everything you need to know. Her shoulders tensed up, she shifted in her seat, she couldn't make eye contact with the reporter. She looked completely caught off guard, which is weird because this is exactly the kind of question she should have prepared for. If you make a bold claim like that, you better be ready to defend it when someone calls you on it. The silence in that room was so thick you could cut it with a knife. You can see other reporters looking at each other, that silent communication that says, "Whoa, did that just happen?" Everyone in that room knew they were watching a career-defining moment unfold. It's like when an NBA player gets absolutely posterized on a dunk. That moment is going to follow you. This press conference disaster showed the first real crack in Angel's carefully built image as the face of women's basketball. That's a huge claim she made, and now it's being tested against actual numbers and facts. It's one thing to say you're the reason people are watching, but it's another thing to prove it when the spotlight's on you. This isn't just some awkward little moment that will blow over. This is what happens when your big talk meets reality. It's like claiming you're the fastest runner in school, then freezing up when someone challenges you to a race. And guess what? The race is happening whether Angel's ready or not. Those cold, hard attendance numbers are about to tell their own story. When you make the kind of claim Angel made, you better have the stats to back it up. And based on that next question response, it seems like she knows the numbers aren't on her side. That's the real problem here, because at the end of the day, this isn't about one bad press conference. It's about making claims you can't support. It's about setting yourself up as the face of a league and then not being able to deliver when someone asks for proof. And as we're about to see when we look at the actual attendance numbers, that proof is going to be really hard for Angel to find. Let's talk about what Angel Reese couldn't say out loud at that press conference. The actual numbers that tell the real story here. Because while Angel was struggling to answer that simple question, Caitlin Clark has been out there changing the game in ways the WNBA has literally never seen before. You want proof? Look at the stand. The Chicago Sky averaged about 8,000 fans per game last season. That's not terrible, but compare that to what's happening with the Fever right now. Every single Indiana game is completely packed. We're talking 17,000 plus fans filling those seats game after game. That's more than double. And these aren't just casual fans. These people are going crazy, buying merchandise, screaming their heads off. Even Angel's big homecoming game at LSU only brought in about 6,000 fans. Think about that. She's returning to the school where she won a national championship, and they couldn't even fill half the arena. The Pete Maravich Assembly Center holds over 13,000 people, but less than half showed up for her big moment. That doesn't scream, "I'm changing the game" to me. And you know what's even worse? A recent Sky Home game against the Lynx only pulled in 4,600 people. That's embarrassing. Another game against the Lynx in Minnesota only got about 7,600 fans. These aren't numbers that back up what Angel was claiming. The stands are literally telling a completely different story than what came out of her mouth. The merchandise numbers are even crazier. Caitlin Clark's jersey became the second highest selling jersey in all of basketball in 2024. Not just women's basketball, all basketball. The only person ahead of her is Steph Curry. That means she's selling more jerseys than LeBron, more than Giannis, more than KD, and she's the only WNBA player anywhere in the top 10. That's absolutely insane for a rookie. According to analysts, she's on track to take the second spot in all-time WNBA jersey sales during just her sophomore season. The TV networks are following the money too, and the money follows viewership. The Fever will have 41 out of their 44 games nationally televised this season. You know how many nationally televised games the Lakers had? 39. The Indiana Fever is getting more national TV coverage than the Los Angeles Lakers. In what universe would that ever happen without Caitlin Clark? Even the WNBA itself knows what's up. Their latest commercial is basically a Caitlin Clark highlight reel with some other players mixed in. They know exactly who's driving those viewership numbers up, and they're not trying to hide it. The Indiana Fever totally rebuilt their whole organization around Clark. They upgraded facilities, expanded their marketing, and brought in veteran talent like Sophie Cunningham, Dana Bonner, and Natasha Howard to create a win-now environment. They're building a team where Clark can succeed right away, not just in 3 or 4 years. The Fever even launched this Now You Know campaign centered around Clark, and their sales are absolutely exploding across all products. They created this tour-style t-shirt that says every game is a home game, which is so perfect because Clark literally draws crowds everywhere she goes. It doesn't matter if she's in Indiana or on the road, fans show up for her. Meanwhile, the Chicago Sky seem totally lost on how to build around Reese. There's no clear vision, no strategic plan to maximize her potential. It's night and day compared to how the Fever have embraced their rookie star. When you put all these numbers together, attendance figures, merchandise sales, TV coverage, they all point to one obvious conclusion. Caitlin Clark is driving this WNBA popularity surge, not Angel Reese. That's not hate. That's not bias. Those are just cold, hard numbers. And that's exactly why Angel couldn't answer that reporter's question. What was she supposed to say? Actually, no, the numbers clearly show Caitlin Clark is the one driving viewership? Of course not. But she also couldn't lie with a straight face and say, yes, I still believe people are watching because of me, when every stat proves otherwise. This isn't about taking sides in some made-up rivalry. The numbers are what they are. Angel Reese is definitely a star in this league. She's got game, she's got personality, she brings a lot to the table. But right now, in this moment, Caitlin Clark is the face of the WNBA boom. That's just the reality, and Angel's next question response couldn't hide it. The numbers paint a picture that Angel just couldn't deny with her next question dodge. She's a talented player with star power, but Caitlin Clark is driving this WNBA explosion right now. Those packed arenas, sold out jerseys, and TV deals don't lie. This isn't about putting Angel down. She brings intensity and skill to the game, but we've got to be real about what's happening. Clark is moving the needle in a way no WNBA rookie ever has. The real exciting part, imagine what happens if Angel steps up to match Clark's impact. Their rivalry could take women's basketball to heights we've never seen before.